Hey, this is Sidan, coach of Sydney 6, bringing you the Week 2 battle of our run of the WWA's Season 1. This week, our opponent is the Hampton Celesteelas and their coach, Womble. Now, we had a pretty good first week, but going into this week, I was pretty nervous. My opponent has a very strong team, some very well-known doubles Pokemons, Pokemons that are known to do well in doubles. So I was a little bit nervous. However, I do have I'm pretty confident in my plan to beat his team. If you want to find out what the sets I'm bringing for this battle, I have that in a separate video, which I have left in the description below. So if you want, you can pause this video, check the team out, and then come back. Otherwise, you can watch it after this battle. Yeah, let's just actually get into the battle. So my opponent brought Stoutland, Mudsdale, Kurfagrigus, G-Max Coalossal, Dragapult, and Behem. So he has a lot of his slow Pokemons there, so he's could be a Trick Room, but he does have Coalossal and Dragapult, so he could lead with that. Activate the Steam Engine. I think I was thinking go with what my lead is. It's Meowstic and Claydol. Azumarill at the back seems the best choice. It will deal with Mudsdale and Coalossal, and probably Incineroar would be have those Incineroar as well. That could deal with Kurfagrigus and Behem. So my two leads should deal with both his options, whatever mode he goes with, but we'll see. And as you can see, Dragapult and Coalossal. So his first move is obviously going to be to Dynamax Coalossal, Surf with Dragapult, activate Weakness Policy on that Coalossal and the Steam Engine. So I'll just I'll do what I planned, I guess. I'll try skill swap the Steam Engine so he doesn't get the speed boost. The Surf should activate my Claydol's Weakness Policy, and with that +2 max Earthquake, it should faint Coalossal, given that it takes damage from the Surf. So that's the plan. And there I Dynamax first. That just confirms that my Claydol is faster, which is reassuring, because I don't have any speed investment on this Claydol, but I don't think Coalossal can outspeed Claydol even with full speed investment, without the Steam Engine boost. So, but Claydol Dynamax first, at least it shows it for me. Okay, and so here goes the skill swap, and it failed. Okay, so I did not know skill swap doesn't work on Dynamax Pokemon, and I've basically built my strategy, my team around this strategy of denying the ability through the skill swap. So I'm flustered at this point. I have no idea what I'm gonna do now, because I don't know if my alternate, like any, I don't know if I have any way to stop a +2 max, like +6 speed, so quadruple speed Coalossal. At this point, I'm thinking I've just basically lost game 1 straight out of the bat, and honestly, this is my own fault. I should have checked if skill swap fails on Dynamax Pokemon. To me, it's not intuitive that Dynamax would there's nothing that how do I say, it's not, I don't know why skill swap doesn't work on Dynamax. It just doesn't seem intuitive to me, but that's the game. You can't just yeah, at this point I'm just going through the motions now, because nothing I can do. I mean, I am aqua jetting with Azumarill. That way I can at least get damage off on Coalossal. Hopefully over the turns I can feint it, but I'm essentially way behind in terms of the numbers. I don't even know what he has in the back, so I mean, he just could have, if he has BHM at the back, I mean, a Psychic from BHM was just going to feint Azumarill, because that analytic boost, and I don't think Azumarill has can do enough damage to OHKO BHM. And well, even if I did, that is not going to happen anymore, because that attack drop just means that I just don't do enough damage at all. So I do get the Azumarill is still alive, I guess. It's the only Pokemon I have that could take down this Coalossal, but at this point there's nothing I can do. I've lost this first game, and I'm already starting to think, what can I do this second game? How can I go about beating this team? Because if skill swap doesn't work, there is no way for me to stop him from activating Steam Engine and Weakness Policy. And my Pokemon are not designed to be, they're not strong enough to take down his team. I do go for an Aqua Jet here, and I after getting my attack lowered again, but given that he's not at his Dynamax form and it's quadruple damage, it is enough to take down that Coalossal. So I do get at least one kill in game 1, and honestly, he goes for his 4th Pokemon, BHM. So I mean, he could have preserved what his 4th Pokemon could be, but that actually just tells me that it's unlikely that Dragapult has a means to actually attack Azumarill. Otherwise, I think he would have just stuck with Dragapult. Or at least this Dragapult doesn't have a means to super effectively hit Azumarill. so does go for the helping hand. I do get the attack drop on liquidation, but sorry, defense drop on liquidation, but that doesn't really mean anything. And then the analytic boosted helping hand boosted thunderbolt just dispatches Azumarill pretty easily. There's nothing I can do there. So I take I lose game 1. I mean, I did same thing happened in in week 1. I lost game 1 and I did manage to come back, but unlike last week, I don't have a plan on how to beat my opponent. And on top of that, my opponent has a very clear plan. So I am at loss of what I could do. I'm just thinking at this point, well, there's no point in bringing Claydol. It's just going to faint like it did in the first game. I still see value in Meowstic, and I think the fact that Meowstic has Thunder Wave means that I can paralyze Dragapult, maybe stop it from performing Surf. Of course, I'll go with Incineroar just because it's the only Pokemon I have that can, I think, do super effective damage to Dragapult. And I was just checking again my Rillaboom set to check if I had knockoff. So I did. So I do have another Pokemon that can do damage. No, well, I think Incineroar was the best lead just because it doesn't put Azumarill in danger straight away. I think Azumarill is better at the back. And I have a Rillaboom at the back just in case, because it's not going to survive from Coalossal anyway. So I just go with Incineroar. I mean, it is I do have a very offensive Incineroar with, but it's not the fastest. I'm hoping he hasn't gone with a lot of speed investment in Dragapult. And to be honest, actually, maybe even with like 0 speed investment, my Incineroar may not be fast enough to beat Dragapult. I wouldn't know. I don't know. But yeah, let's. So I do go for the Thunder Wave, and it does paralyze. However, that Surf goes off before Incineroar could make a move. So even with the paralysis, I'm not going to even damage Dragapult. So obviously, I can't do this in game 3 either. I also go for a different Pokemon that's faster. Lucky for me, he does go for Meowstic with that max Rock Ball. So I do get off the Darkest Lariat. It is an offensive Incineroar, but I think he has gone for a bulkier Dragapult. Or it's either that or I miscalculated how much damage Incineroar would do. But at this point, okay, I can go with Azumarill. And I'm thinking now. I think I've put my opponent in a position where he has to decide who he wants to get rid of first. Now, I do think he probably would want to get rid of my Azumarill since I can do most damage. It threatens his Coalossal the most. But if I Dynamax, I might survive. I'm not sure. Tell the truth, I did not account on +2 Zumurl getting hit by +2 max overgrowth from a Coalossal. That's how much I was hedging on skill swap to work. So I didn't account in any of this. I get intimidated, which it's not great. Because now I don't even know if I will Oko this Coalossal, or not Oko. Yeah, I don't know whether my Max Geyser will faint Coalossal. He goes for Max Volcano again, so right onto my Incineroar, which is, you know, the best possible outcome for me at this moment in time. And we'll see. And the Max Geyser actually does get rid of my Coalossal. Oh, sorry, my opponent's Coalossal. And now I'm actually in a position. I still think I'm not in the greatest position, but I'm actually in a position where I think I can win this. Now, I probably can't afford his Stoutland to be swapping out all the time. If he swaps out and cycles that Intimidate, I could be in a bit of trouble. However, he can only probably do it one more time. I go for Max Geyser. I mean, rain boosted Max Geyser, and my Rillaboom is choice banded, so I only get one choice. I do go for the Grassy Glide. It should do enough damage to Dragapult. Maybe I should have gone with something like Wood Hammer. That way I could probably test how fast Rillaboom is in comparison to paralyzed Dragapult, but I think my Incineroar is faster than Rillaboom, so there's no point in doing that. I have no speed investment in Rillaboom, and I have a little bit in for Incineroar, so yeah. He does go for BM, so he chose the same 4 Pokemon. But I'm in actually a really good position now. I do know that BM can. I do know that a Grassy Glide can. It has, like, I think it was a 50% chance of OHKOing full HP, full defense BM, or at least full HP, and with the Max Geyser, it should dispatch BM. But luckily he goes with the double protect, which actually benefits me more than anything, because if for whatever reason, oh no, because I was doubling up on BM, but if I didn't double up on BM and BM does an attack, I mean a Psychic does, I know Psychic also OHKOs Rillaboom, and then at that point he could just at that point he could just focus on Zumurl, 2v1 on Zumurl, or 1v1. You know what, I don't know what I'm talking. I think I was in a good position regardless. I think I lucked out in this spell. I think my opponent decided to attack the wrong Pokemons at the wrong time, if that makes sense. I think if the first turn he went with, if he attacked Incineroar, this match would have been different. Even on that second turn, if he attacked Azumarill instead of Incineroar, again, I think it would very much have been in my opponent's favor. But at this stage now, obviously, my choice banded Rillaboom coming in and just cleaving through the back of his team. So, I mean, there's nothing to it really. So I managed to claim the second game, and honestly, I'm excited, but I know that like I said, I lucked out in the second game. I doubt my opponent is going to make the same. If I go with the same strategy, I doubt my opponent will choose the same targets. I think he would have recognized that if he went for Incineroar at turn 1 or Azumarill turn 2, it would be a completely different. On the other hand, also, he does have Kofagrigus and Mudsdale that he hasn't brought in yet. And he could go for this Trick Room mode. I mean, BHM is incredibly strong. It's going to do tons of damage. But at the same time, he did see, like, Rillaboom did more or less OHKO BHM. I know BHM was damaged by the weakened Max Geyser, but I think with the choice band, I think and at full H, just if he only has HP investment, then I think Grassy Glide will OHKO. So you can't rely on the BHM to survive. He could still go for a Trick Room, but with Coalossal. I mean, I can't Grassy Glide Coalossal, but at the same time, there's no way to activate that weakness policy then. So I wasn't sure, but now I'm thinking, I've been thinking this far too long. I did not choose my Pokemons in time. And if my lead then is my first two Pokemons, which is Rillaboom and Azumarill. And if he has Dragapult and Coalossal as his lead, which there's no reason why he shouldn't change. This is the worst possible lead now. Because I have the grassy terrain up now, and if Dynamax Azumarill had a slim chance of surviving a +2 overgrowth, yeah, that's not happening now, because with that grassy terrain, that boost to the max overgrowth is definitely gonna fake Azumarill. So I have to somehow try to stall out this. Well, in my mind, I'm thinking I have to stall out this Dynamax somehow. If I protect, there's a chance that I can, preserve my Dynamax while, reducing the damage and hopefully surviving the max overgrowth. But there's nothing I could do. I'm flustered at this point, because this is clearly not the lead I want, and honestly, I'd rather have these two as my back Pokemons. The only situation I can see Azumarill as a lead was probably if it was paired with Claydol as my other lead. And reason is, like, I think if I have Claydol and Azumarill, that's forcing my opponents to choose to max overgrowth either. Well, max overgrowth one of them, and obviously if he chooses a Zoomerol, then I get that +2 earthquake off. If he chooses to target Claydol, then I could probably get off a liquidation or something. But I made the wrong choice. I protected with the Zoomerol. He went for Rillaboom instead, and yeah, any hopes I have of winning is just up in the air. I mean, if I had a cooler head, maybe I could have thought about it more, swap Rillaboom into a Zoomerol, but sorry, Rillaboom for Claydol. Claydol probably could have survived a +2 max flare, but I don't know. My only hope now is go for a Helping Hand boosted liquidation, Max Geyser, and hope he here targets Meowstic. So I do Dynamax my Azumarill, and I mean, it doesn't help that it's also Harsh Sun's out, but I mean, I'm getting hit by a Max Overgrowth, and yeah, I have lost all my offensive pressure now. I mean, I do have Claydol at the back. It does have weakness policy, but there's no way. Even when Dynamax Claydol couldn't survive Max Overgrowth, and that was even without the grassy terrain. Now there's a grassy terrain. I have no chance of Dynamaxing. Yeah, there's no way Claydol can survive this. And the fact that he went for Azumarill instead of Meowstic obviously tells me that he knows that Meowstic is probably not an offensive threat at all. So I go with the Helping Hand. I mean, the only thing I can hope for is that he goes for Meowstic, but he doesn't. And yeah, literally Meowstic can't do any damage to his Pokemons. I only have the 3 support move at Fake Out, so yeah, the third game, I think I lost to. I mean, look, I lost because I didn't think I relied on a strategy that was flawed to begin with. I didn't do a research to see whether my strategy could work, and then in this third game I just lost to basically not keeping a calm head about it. I think if I try to keep a cooler head, the result. No, no, I'm not gonna say I was gonna win. And actually, most likely, I was still going to lose. But I think it wouldn't have been just like this massacre that happened just right now. So I do lose the second week of the WWA. And honestly, there's nothing. I think. Look, that was great. I think my opponent came in with a plan and executed basically perfectly. I think that second game, he did make the wrong choice at the wrong time, but I think that's just more of a hindsight thing. He obviously recognized it, like. He obviously learnt that from going into the third battle, and he immediately dispatched all my offensive Pokemons. It didn't help that I had to lead with them. I would have preferred them at the back, but there's nothing I can do about that. So, yeah. So I'm 1 win, 1 loss. and going. Well, yeah, 1 win, 1 loss. Nothing I can do about that. Okay, so uh, uh, good work on my opponent. He deserves the win. But what can I do? I just have to regather, keep myself calm for just learn from this battle, and try to see if I can just shore up what my mistakes going to the going further in this league. So that was the week 2 battle. If you enjoyed the battle, please leave a like on this video. If you want to follow my run, continue following my run in this WWA, you can subscribe. Otherwise, I do release videos the same time each week. Next week I will be facing I think another person who's pretty experienced, shown to have experience in doubles, and yeah, I'm facing, I believe it's a Toronto Roadrunners, and I think yeah, Toronto Roadrunners, and their coach Quinn. So until then, yeah, well, I guess I'll see you guys next week. And until then, have a nice day, and see you.